Some superheroes have been around for a very long time in the comics, since the 60s, 70s, or 80s. That's a minimum of almost 30 years. And of course, most superheroes also show up as a full-grown adult when they make their debut. So it's unsurprising after being around for so long that they might get around sometimes as well. After all, in comics the stakes are high, the world is almost always about to end. So if you have a crush on someone, it's not likely something that you are going to end up sitting on. You are going to want to act on it in case this story arc is really the end. Spoiler alert, it never is. Today we'll be looking at some heroes who feel more compelled to make strong physical connections with those around them as we count down the top 10 superheroes who hook up the most. Part 2. That's right, so if you haven't seen Kelly's part 1 of this list, you best get on it right after or just pause and come back. I'll wait. And be sure to head over to Top 10 Central maybe while you're pausing this video and give our new channel some love, give it a sub. Subs are love after all. Also a reminder to stick around to the end of this list where I will have some bonus content coming your way. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10. Black Cat. When you think of Black Cat, you may think of her obsession with Spider-Man first, and wonder how she could possibly have ever been with anyone else. And yet, she has. In fact, sometimes it is her obsession with Peter Parker that drives her into another lover's arms. When she isn't busy dating or chasing after Peter Parker, it's usually because she is preoccupied with these folks: the Foreigner, Daredevil, or Flash Thompson. An alternate Earth 982 sees Felicia Hardy flexing her bisexuality when she divorces Flash and ends up in a relationship with her co-worker Diana. I love those two together. They're so cute. Number 9. Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch has daddy issues that, despite them kind of being retconned, have always caused her to be a hopeless romantic, constantly searching for something to fill that void in her heart where she feels like she has been missing love. Combine this with the fact that she is often a hero who is made to feel like she is just not good enough or is the bad guy, and you can understand why love means so much to her. Her desperation often leaves her looking in what some might consider all the wrong places. As such, she is hooked up with Captain America, Hawkeye, Vision, Wonder Man, and Dr. Doom, though she was kind of without her memories for the time that she was with Doom. Needless to say, her wanting so much to be loved often causes her to be in relationships that are not the healthiest. On alternate Earth 2182, she had a child with Nightcrawler, maybe one of my favorite picks for her in terms of a partner, and in the Ultimate verse, her and Quicksilver are very much a thing. Too much of a thing, really. Too much of a thing even in Earth 616. Number 8. Emma Frost. Emma Frost carries more sex appeal than she really does partners, it's true. But she still has attempted to sleep with quite a few people, and it has been implied that before Scott Summers came into her life, Emma was quite a different person when it came to her stance on intimate relationships. It's implied that she and Tony slept with one another, and that she had some kind of affair with an ex of hers from college and a previous teacher of hers from high school. Yeah, she had a relationship with a teacher in high school. Yeesh. She may have also hooked up with Troy Kilkelly, one of her first boyfriends who she ended up living with at a young age. She also had a relationship with Sebastian Shaw and Namor during her times at the Hellfire Club, where she was an exotic dancer. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Number 7. Kyle Rayner. When it comes to Green Lanterns getting busy, you may originally think of Hal and his relationship with Star Sapphire, his former girlfriend Carol, or with the odd relationship that he had with Arisia Rapp. Or you may just think of Guy Gardner or Jon Stewart, who are also sometimes known for playing the field. But these aren't the only Green Lanterns of Earth you should be thinking about. Kyle is right up there with some of his fellow Green Lanterns when it comes to multiple romances. He is hooked up with Saranik Natu, Jade, and Donna Troy. Becoming a Green Lantern almost even helped him get back with his ex, Alexandra DeWitt, until she was murdered and stuffed in a fridge. True fridging going on there. He also slept with Adara, a former Green Lantern who just wanted him for his lantern ring. But after she stole it and realized it wouldn't work for her, she killed herself. Some tragic hookups mixed up in there. Some death. I feel like dating Kyle Rayner is a little bit like rolling a dice, but not as much as someone else on this list. Number 6. Black Widow. Despite people thinking that Natasha has had the most romances of all the Marvel characters, her numbers remain actually quite tame. Like her MCU counterpart, Natasha Romanoff is a very focused woman, and her time both in the comics and on the screen often seemed to be more spent working than romancing. However, she has had some pretty huge romances over the years. Former lovers include Hawkeye, Hercules, Daredevil, Bucky Barnes, her one-time husband Red Guardian aka Ronan, and in the MCU we've seen her paired up with Bruce Banner. It wasn't a full-on hookup, but she also once kissed Rogue. Simply to quickly share information through her memories, of course. But still, it was pretty steamy for Rogue. Rogue was like, damn. And in the Ultimate universe she had a romance with Tony, which she used simply to manipulate him. And in the 1602 universe we see her once again painted more as a villain when she helps Count Otto von Doom because she's in love with him. Man, Doom gets busy a lot. If we had a supervillain list for people that hook up, Doom should be on there, I think. Number 5. Captain America. When you think of Steve Rogers, you may think of him as that man who is misplaced in time. Being from the 1940s originally, you might think he's probably one of those old-fashioned types. A one-girl kind of man. And he is. One girl at a time, maybe. Though, I think he has at least one time let them overlap. At least once. He apologized though for that. That is to say, he hasn't just been with Peggy and Sharon, which is something odd enough. He's star-spangled a plethora of ladies, including Diamondback, a robot version of Diamondback, I know, weird, Peggy Carter, Sharon Carter, Scarlet Witch, Betsy Ross, and Bernie Rosenthal. That last name though, Bernie Rosenthal, what a great name. Bernie Rosenthal, the glass blower. That's what she did. In alternate universes, he also has bumped uglies and had kids with Rogue and Black Widow. And he even had a relationship with a gender-swapped version of Tony on our 3490 named Natasha Stark, where therefore the events of Civil War just never happened. I wonder if that would have worked in Earth 616. Number 4. Johnny Storm. Johnny Storm is one of the hottest heroes Marvel has, pun intended. It's no surprise that he has had many romances over the years. He's hooked up with countless ladies like Courtney Keaton, Dory Evans, Nova, Inhuman Crystal, and even Crystal's Inhuman sister, Medusa. It's also been implied that he even slept with Wolverine's bisexual son, Daken, which doesn't surprise me as Daken is a hottie in his own right. Johnny has also had a weird relationship that turned into a full-on marriage with Alicia Masters. Well, later we found out that she was actually a Skrull, but before that, we were made to believe it was Alicia. Why is this strange? Because when Alicia was originally introduced to the Fantastic Four, the Puppet Master wanted to use her because of how much she looked like Sue Storm. She looked like Sue Storm a lot originally. And while this was never again brought up, it's still weird to think that Johnny was super attracted to someone who it was originally stated looked near identical to his sister. What does that mean? Why do all of these brothers and sisters? What is this, Marvel? Stop it. It's weird. Number 3. Matt Murdock. Well, you may not initially think of Matt Murdock when it comes to a superhero who gets around. Daredevil certainly does. In the Netflix series, he almost uses the Batman excuse for his promiscuity, trying to use the alibi of blind playboy lawyer to distance himself from his Daredevil persona. You would think sleeping with more people would only make it more obvious that you're a superhero though, no? Think of all those bruises both Bats and Daredevil must be covered in. But in the comics, he seems more to come into a lot of relationships because, well, he just has a lot of ladies die on him and then he falls back in love. Let's just talk about the lovers that have died even. Elektra, Karen Page, Heather Glenn, and Gloriana O'Brien. And then there's that poor Mila Donovan who ended up going insane during their relationship. Yeah, she went straight up insane. He also hooked up with Black Cat, Moondragon, Typhoid Mary, and Echo. And most of his relationships tend to end terribly for his former lovers, even if they don't end in death. So a word to the wise, if Matt Murdock comes a callin', maybe just don't answer. Unless you need legal representation, then maybe you should answer, because he's a pretty good lawyer. He's a pretty good lawyer. Give him that. Number 2. Hercules. Being a demigod and being around for as long as Hercules has, it's unsurprising that he has had a long list of people that he has slept with in the Marvel Universe, including Wolverine in Volume 2 of Extreme X-Men. Well, it was an alternate version of Hercules and an alternate version of Wolverine that were in that relationship, but still, it happened. Though Marvel has continued to flip-flop when it comes to this hero's sexuality. He was bisexual, then he was heterosexual, and now there are rumors of him perhaps being portrayed as gay in the Eternals. Stop playing with my heart, Marvel. Give me some more bisexual heroes, please. That being stated, it has been implied, but only implied, that he slept with Northstar. But we know for a fact he has slept with Megara, his first wife, Hippolyta, Black Widow, Nova, an alternate version of Hercules, but still, She-Hulk, Namora, Psylocke, and enough alien ladies to probably rival Captain Kirk, I'm pretty sure. And it has also been implied that he is hooked up with Scarlet Witch and Cersei. Woo! That's a lot of people, and that's not even all of them. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Number 1. Mystique. It's pretty crazy to think about all the people Mystique could have slept with, given her abilities and the mystery of her age. We know she met one of her oldest and probably most meaningful lovers in the early 1900s, but little is known as to Mystique's true age. For all we know, she could be actually like timeless. She could have been around since like the dawn of time. Probably not, but maybe. And the longer you've been around, the better odds you have of ending up in bed with a sizable amount of people. Mystique has also slept with Professor X, Azazel, and Deadpool. She was actually even married to Deadpool, but apparently was disguised at the time and was using him to steal some files from Weapon X. Mystique has used her powers to disguise herself as many different people and then proceed to have relationships. Usually she's tricking people, but still, they think they're having a relationship with the person. She tried to sleep with her adopted daughter Rogue's boyfriend Gambit while disguised as Fox, and succeeded in sleeping with Phantom X while disguised as Psylocke. Knowing this means we likely don't even know how many people she has slept with, as she could have been disguised for a good amount of them, and it hasn't even maybe been revealed yet in the comics. She's also slept with both Wolverine and his nemesis Sabretooth, and she may have even slept with Doc and Wolverine's son, though it isn't confirmed and it's only implied in the comics. Still, I kind of wouldn't be super surprised if Mystique had, or if Daken had for that matter. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. I hope you enjoyed this list. Who do you think is the longest list of relationships? How do you think the comic world does in terms of how it chooses to represent different characters' relationships and their sexuality? If you could hook up with any superhero, who would it be? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Superheroes Whose Identity Was Never Revealed, Part 2. Also, wow, you all really loved the outfit that I wore in that video. Jabri N comments, when you have to do a video at 6, but you have a hot date at 7. Actually, I just had, I guess, a hot date with my mom. It was my birthday, so we went to the spa and then we got some Red Lobster. That's what we got up to. Super low key. I just wanted to look and feel bomb for my birthday because I filmed that video on my birthday, so yeah. Lynn Barnett says, why do I get a Natasha Black Widow low-key cosplay from this outfit? Probably has to do with the circles of the belt and the neckline on the bodysuit that I was wearing. To be honest, I wasn't thinking about that at all when I bought that outfit, but as soon as I put it on, I realized I'd basically created like a casual Black Widow cosplay for the comic book version. So yeah, oops. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Thanks for all of those outfit compliments, you guys are crazy. Be sure to comment below in this video for a chance to get shouted out in a future one, and while you're on your way down there, be sure to like, sub, share, and ring our bell. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you as always to stay nerdy, YouTube.